Hi guys, my name is Samaya, and today we are going to be learning about the 5 ocean zones. So in this lesson, you're going to learn about the locations and characteristics of all 5 ocean zones, and also what animals live in each zone. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify the 5 layers of the ocean, identify the relative temperature, water pressure, and depth of each zone, and recognize what types of animals live in each zone. Here we have an overview of the ocean zones in all their glory, and as you can see, as we go deeper and deeper down into the ocean, it gets darker and darker, and the animal life in each zone is very different. So let's dive in. Here we have the 5 zones of the ocean. Their informal names, we have Sunlight Zone, Twilight Zone, Midnight Zone, the Abyss, and the Trenches. The informal names, they're kind of just like, think of going from daytime to nighttime. For the first 3 and the last 3, they're kind of just, there. Then we have the scientific names. We have the epipelagic zone, the mesopelagic zone, the bathypelagic zone, the abyssopelagic zone, and last but not least, the hadopelagic zone. And here's some helpful meanings to better understand their scientific names. So the suffix pelagic means relating to the ocean. Epi means above, which makes sense because the sunlight zone is the uppermost layer of the ocean. We have the meso, which means middle, bathy, which means deep, and hadal, which means below 6,000 meters or 20,000 feet, which is really deep. Okay, the sunlight zone. So as I said before, this is the uppermost layer of the ocean, and it is 200 meters or around 656 feet deep. The temperature of this zone varies from 27 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is because the temperatures and climate around the world really varies, so the sunlight zone of the ocean has a lot of variation around the world. This zone has the least water pressure, which is why whenever you go to the beach, you can swim freely without having to worry about the safety gear. And this zone has the most marine life. Compared to all the other layers, it actually contains 90% of all of the ocean's life. And this zone receives the most sunlight, which is why it's informally known as the sunlight zone. And since it receives the most sunlight, photosynthesis occurs here. And photosynthesis is a process in which plants convert sunlight into energy and food for themselves. And the sunlight zone is the only zone that has plant life in it because it receives the most sunlight and is able to sustain plant life. The other zones do not receive enough sunlight for plants to survive in. So here's a glance at the animal life in the sunlight zone. This is by no means every animal in the sunlight zone, but just a quick glance. So here we have a baby sea turtle, we have a dolphin, a sea lion, a shark. We have a jellyfish here. Just a side note on the jellyfish, there are many different species of jellyfish. This particular one lives in the sunlight zone, but there are also other species that live in the other zones. And this is phytoplankton, which sustains the life in the sunlight zone because many animals that live here feed off of this stuff, and it's very important to maintaining the ocean's ecosystem. And over here we have some of the plants in the sunlight zone. Here we have seaweed, we have barnacle, and we have coral reef. Very colorful, beautiful sunlight zone. Now on to the twilight zone. So very low levels of sunlight reach the twilight zone, making it really dim and virtually darkness to the human eye. We are now 200 to 1,000 meters deep into the ocean. And the water pressure here reaches to about 1,470 pounds per square inch. And the temperature here is from around 39 degrees Fahrenheit to 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really cold since sunlight doesn't reach here. And the animals that live here are very uniquely adapted to live in such a cold, harsh environment. Since there's barely any sunlight, animals have to produce their own. Some animals produce their own light through bioluminescence, and others use counter-illumination to avoid being seen by predators, or predators use counter-illumination to attract prey. And here I'm going to show you an example of these. So bioluminescence, here we have a jellyfish that produces its own light through bioluminescence. And over here we have a cookie cutter shark. So this is what a cookie cutter shark actually looks like, but it uses an illusion and can appear like this, which will not alert any, nearby fish, so that they can easily attract prey and eat other fish. Pretty scary stuff. Onward, we have some Twilight Zone animal life. We have an octopus, squid, lanternfish, which is a fish that uses bioluminescence. We have a sperm whale, and we have a cuttlefish. And just a side note, the octopus and the squid will go up to the sunlight zone to get food, as will the sperm whale. And over here, I have a little video clip to show you guys about scientists diving in to see an animal, and they have no clue what it is, but they think it may be a cuttlefish. Okay, wow, that is lovely. The animal is right here. So that's a little clip of scientists debating about what the animal is. Okay, onward to the midnight zone. Again, we're getting darker, and we're kind of using that analogy of going from the daytime to the nighttime, and here we are in the midnight zone, where there is no sunlight. So after this zone, there's no sunlight reaching the ocean. So the only light produced here is by the creatures through bioluminescence. And the water temperature here is nearly freezing, so it's cold. And there's also very heavy water pressure where we're reaching up to 5,850 pounds per square inch. You really need to be in a submarine or have some intense safety gear to be able to explore this area of the ocean. We are really deep. We are 1,000 to 4,000 meters below the surface of the ocean. And very few creatures are found here. There's actually a lot yet to be discovered, but as of right now, there are very few creatures found here, as this is not really a habitable zone. Okay, here we have a cookie cutter shark, which will actually go up to other surfaces to get food, since food here is very scarce. This is a Dumbo octopus, we have a starfish, and we have an anglerfish, which again uses bioluminescence. We see a lot of bioluminescence as we go deeper and deeper into the ocean due to the lack of light. And I actually have another clip of scientists seeing a Dumbo octopus in all of its full glory. So let's go watch that clip. An ad. This one's really cool since we see the Dumbo octopus swim. Okay, so that's where we see a Dumbo octopus, and you could really see why they call it Dumbo because of the big ears there. And on to the next. Now we are at the abyss, the forbidding abyss. We are now 4,000 to 6,000 meters deep into the ocean, and the temperature here stays around 36 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't really fluctuate. And there's a complete absence of light. So in the midnight zone, while maybe we got like very light rays of sun to somehow penetrate through to that midnight zone, here we do not have any light. It's just from the creatures themselves. And 75% of the ocean is located in this zone. So majority of the ocean is right here in the abyss. And in Greek, abyss means bottomless. So here's some of the abyssal zone animal life. We have these tube worms, which I'll show you a link in a second about their coolness. We have a sea spider and a sea pig and a sea cucumber. So a lot of really eccentric, cool animal life here in the abyss. So here I'm going to go to a link about the giant tube worm. So what's cool about them is that they actually do not have any eyes, mouth, or a stomach, and they can live up to 1,000 years. And they stay alive through this bacteria that lives in them, and they have a symbiotic relationship, which means the bacteria helps them to survive, really. It's just one of the cooler animals that live in the abyss. Just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of that. Now on to the trenches. Okay, wow, we are now going 6,000 meters deep to the absolute bottom of the ocean. And the water pressure here is at a crushing 8 tons per square inch. Imagine like 30 airplanes. It is really, really, really just a lot of pressure. And much of this zone has not been explored by humans. And the temperature reaches a chilling 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is freezing. Quite literally, it is freezing at that temperature. Here we are at the Mariana Trench, where the deepest point of the ocean is located. It's in the Mariana Trench right here right here at the Challenger Deep. Humans have actually gone to this point in the ocean only once. And you can really recognize the Mariana Trench by its distinguishable crescent-like shape. Onto the animal life, which is really scarce in the trenches, and they're quite not really the cutest animals. So we have the snailfish here, and we have a cusk eel here. They're very slimy animals. Now I just want to summarize all of the animal characteristics in each of the zones. So as you saw in the Twilight Zone, these animals have a large mouth, they have a sleek body, and some of these animals are even mammals. Because, of course, you can receive the oxygen in the Twilight Zone. In the Twilight Zone, since we're getting deeper, we have well-developed gills, they have muscular bodies, and they have rigid bones. This is not for all animals, it's just like for most of the animals, since, octopus and squid, they really don't. Midnight Zone, these animals, they have slow metabolisms, tiny eyes because it's just really dark down there, and there's really no need for big eyes. Slow metabolism because there's not enough food down there, and they just need, every time they get food, they need that energy for a long, long time. And they have small muscles, so really that just means they grow really slowly, because really there's, again, not enough food, so that can't really lend itself to normal growth. In the abyssal zone, animals are mostly blind, they're translucent, and they tend to be black, red, or transparent. And in the trenches, the animals are similar in characteristics to those in the abyssal zone. Mini quiz time. So I'm just going to give you guys a few moments to read the questions and think of an answer. So which zone does the sea turtle live in? You can think of an answer for that. I'll give you guys around 5 seconds. If you said sunlight zone, you're correct. So what is the scientific name for the trenches? This one might be a little difficult to remember, but hopefully you can think of it. Think deep. It's the deepest part of the ocean. And if you said the hadopelagic zone, you are right. Some more questions. Which animal or animals live in the midnight zone? So it's either, we have A, sea lion, B, anglerfish, C, Dumbo octopus, D, sea cucumber, and E, white shark. So there can be multiple animals in this list. I'll give you a few seconds to think of which ones live in the midnight zone. Okay then, if you said anglerfish, you are correct. And if you said Dumbo octopus, you are correct. The Dumbo octopus is that video I showed you guys, and the anglerfish is the one that has that lamp-like thing hanging from its head. Okay, the last few questions. Some animals and a variety of plants are some mammals and a variety of plants are located in this ocean zone. And if you said sunlight zone, you are right. And now, I'm pretty sure the last question, where is the deepest part of the ocean located? This one you should remember since we just talked about it. And if you said the Challenger Point at the Mariana Trench, or even just the Mariana Trench, you're correct. Okay, so just to wrap things up here, I had a fun little project idea for you guys to do if you're interested in doing something during your free time, and just building on that knowledge of the ocean zones. You can create a diorama of the ocean zones using a shoebox. So you can just get a shoebox and give a background, paint it different colors, showing how it gets darker and darker as we go deeper into the ocean, and glue on some animals, or even have some animal figurines and glue them on, or draw them. And I think it would be really fun, and it would really reinforce everything that you've learned today. So I hope you had a fun time learning about the ocean zones with me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!